Peace, peace, good people. Welcome to my channel. I am Nuku, the Horned Dakini, coming on to give you guys a read piece. So pull on up, cop a squat, as the old folks used to say, because this could be a resourceful reading for you, okay? Newbies, hello, hello, hello. If this is your very first time visiting with me, thank you. I appreciate having you. And of course, I hope that you do choose to subscribe and stay, okay? OGs, returnees, and newly subscribees, I appreciate you returning, okay? I appreciate that you appreciate my channel, my style of reading. Because I'm not for everybody, right? I had someone tell me that when they come to my readings, it's like they're sitting with me and having a conversation. And I like that because I'm a very personable woman. That's who I am in real life. If I'm reading for you in real life, if you in my face, it's going to feel personable. If we're on the phone, it's going to feel personable. Because I feel like if I'm going to do any type of intuitive work for you, however I'm divining for you, okay, because this is not the only way that I divine, but if I'm using the tarot, if I'm using oracle cards, however I am divining for you, it's going to feel personal and it's going to feel personable, okay? So yeah, that's my intention when I come on here, is for you to, one, resonate, two, apply what you're feeling, okay? Because your own intuition is going to tell you what to do with what you're hearing, right? And then number three, leave you with some information that is resourceful. I'm a resourceful soul. I like to give individuals information, insight, enlightenment that they can take with them. Okay? Thank you, sweet spirit, for using me as a trusted and true vessel to bring about a message for the collective that will soon be here to view this reading. Show me clearly who, what, when, where, why, and how. Who is this reading for? Show me clearly. Show me clearly. Justice. If you've watched my last three readings, the Justice card has been in all three. So it's funny, and if you've watched any of my readings from the past, there was one time that a series of my readings, the Hierophant just kept on showing up. I think that was in like March and April. Every reading I did, the Hierophant was following it. Then I had a series of readings where no matter what deck I used, no matter what, the Devil was following it. So I guess I'm going through a phase where the Justice card is going to be following it, because the last three readings, she's been there. And I know that she wants you to feel comfortable in speaking your truth. So I feel like I may be speaking to a collective. You may have some throat chakra issues going on. Could be speaking to someone who's actually having, you got a sore throat, or you may have strep throat or laryngitis. And I'm not pushing this energy onto you by no means, okay? So this is not, you don't have to rebuke what I'm saying, because I'm not casting a spell as I'm saying this. I'm saying this simply because I feel like I'm speaking to someone who may need to implement verbally what they feel and how they feel about a person, place, thing, situation, okay? Because the Justice card wants balance. It wants to be heard, and it wants justification. So there could be some conversation that just needs to be had. And the justice, the truth, is going to unfold as soon as you approach this situation in your truth, okay? So Sometimes we don't speak what needs to be said because we don't want to hear the truth, or we don't want to hear the other person's truth, or we try to indirectly guard the other person's feelings from our truth. So I could be speaking to somebody, you are looking out for them by not speaking your truth, when in our reality you need to be looking out for you, because there's something within you that's not fulfilled, something within you that's not justified, because you are not speaking the truth. I don't think this is a message or a lesson for anybody outside of you. The people who you may need to speak this truth to are just pawns, but ultimately this is your message, this is your lesson, this is something that your soul is trying to get you to acknowledge and fix or change, or whatever, it's trying to get you to do. Pretty much it's all about you, and the other people that are involved are just pieces on your board to help you move closer to whatever it is that you need to learn. The King of Swords. The King of Swords. Now, it came out in the reverse. I'm not reading reversals, but I will incorporate what the meaning is, just in case I'm speaking to someone who may be feeling like their King of Swords energy is in a conflicting position. Okay. And that could look like wanting to say something, but not knowing how to say it, not knowing how to approach it, not knowing how to. And some of y'all, this is where you're at. You're stuck with trying to figure out, how do I say it? Do I write it? Do I send an email? Do I, do we Zoom? Is it safer for me to Zoom instead of being in personal contact with this person? You're trying to figure out the best way to approach a situation, whether it's in the upright or the reverse. Okay, so it doesn't matter. But I did give what you could be experiencing if you're feeling like your energy, your communication is on pause or conflicted. Okay, it's simply because you're trying to figure out, how do I go about saying what needs to be said? Either way, you gotta say it. Now, of course, do what's more comfortable for you. Okay. Because there is a strategy. Because I'm hearing the word strategic. And I believe that only means, because whoever you need to have this conversation with, whoever you may be in cahoots with, not cahoots, because that means working together, whoever you are in conflict with. And this conflict does not have to look like chaos. The conflict can just be you needing to tell them they've done something and it has made you feel some type of way. Okay, on a small scale, that could be the very micro version of it, or it could be chaotic, the macro version of it. What, place energy where it belongs. Each of us know what it is that we are enduring and experiencing and need to address, right? Nevertheless, I think I'm seeing the word strategic, because you know this person, so you know how you need to design this conversation. Some people, you can't talk to them face to face, because soon as you get ready to say how you feel, or you bring up a situation, they may be that type of person, you might just need to send them a quick little email and then tell them, hey, I sent you an email, read it. And then some people, you do better talking face to face, because maybe you want to be, in their electromagnetic field. You want to feel how they're going to respond. You want to see those facial expressions. You want to feel that energy. You want to feel their spirit, and you want them to feel yours when you're speaking to them. Okay? Some people, you need to just Zoom them, FaceTime them. Okay? So I believe the strategy is coming from how you're going to approach this. What kind of conversation, and how are you going to unfold the conversation, okay? Either way, it's all up to you. It's all in your court, how you're going to do this. Because I believe you may be about to approach somebody who may not even know that you feel this way, okay? I feel like Thank you, Spirit. Somebody may have said or did something to you and it made you feel uncomfortable, or they said something and maybe they said it and maybe they deliberately or did not deliberately say it in a way that made you feel like they were being assholish or sarcastic or saying some slick shit. And maybe you've been toying with this thing because maybe you haven't addressed it. Something that they said to you may have been unfair, and maybe they knew it and didn't maybe they knew. Okay, so because there's so many scenarios, maybe they did that on purpose. They knowingly said what they said. You caught it, but you never addressed it. You didn't have a rebuttal. You didn't have a comeback. It could be that, or maybe they said what they said. They didn't know that it came off the way you received it, and you just been holding on to it. You've been bottling it up, and maybe that's why I picked up on some of you having some issues going on right here. Is some truth that just needs to be said. And the thing about it is, you cannot protect. Oh, thank you, Spirit. So I just heard, you don't know how this is going to affect y'all's relationship after you have this conversation. That's what you're trying to protect, because you feel like it's going to be weird after you have this conversation. So it could be with a family member, this could be with a lover, a partner, this could be with a best friend, this could be with a coworker. This is somebody who I think you're trying to protect what y'all have, because once you address this, depending on how the communication goes, could determine how this relationship continues. Okay, so I see. So that's why you're being strategic. Okay, so that's okay. That's why you're being very strategic in how you do it and in what you say. Work with Sodalite. Sodalite. Gosh, I can't. I need to keep my crystals. I didn't know that I was going to want to use a crystal to show you. I normally I'm where my crystals are. But as soon as I'm told to show the crystal, clearly that'd be the crystal that I don't even have access to at the moment. But I have a lot of Sodalite, and it's probably all downstairs. What do I have up here? Oh, I got all my adventuring. Yeah. But Sodalite is a bluish whitish stone. It's more blue than white. But that would be a wonderful stone for you to hold, warm it in your hands, hold it, rub it and warm it in your hands, and put it on that throat chakra. Put it on that third eye. Ladies, warm it. And I say warm it because I literally believe in warming your crystals up. You know, you put your solar panels together. Our hands are solar panels. Warm it, okay, to activate it, and then put it in your bra, right? Set that intention on what you want the crystal to help you accomplish, okay? But Sodalite would be a really good one. Sodalite helps you speak, as well as clear quartz. Because see, clear quartz helps you get right to the center of the situation. It's clarity. It's a clarification stone, okay? And it moves away all the stuff. All that stuff that's in the way of you going straight to clarification, okay? All right. Show me more and show me clearly. The Hanged Man. Yeah. You are probably... and I feel like that's that strategy, that strategic energy. You're in a position where you're like, because the Hanged Man, of course, depending on what reading it's in, where regardless of the reading, it's always a card of epiphanies and clarity and being able to see a situation from different views. Okay, that's not going to change. That's the energy of the card no matter what. But in this particular reading, I feel like you're trying to figure out the best way to handle this situation. What is the most effective way I can approach this without exerting too much of myself, without And again, I can sense that you want to savor this relationship in some way. I think, anyway. I think some of y'all want to save this friendship, relationship, whatever it is, so you don't want it to turn into chaos. And I feel like I'm also speaking to whoever you are. You're the most level-headed one between you and the other person, or you and these people, because for some of y'all it's a group of people that you need to have this conversation with, and then some of y'all it's just a one-on-one. Either way, you're the most logical one. You're the even-tempered one. You're not the one you're not the I think the person that you want to have this conversation with, they may be the okay. Yeah, but you're on pause. Only because you're on pause verbally with speaking your mind to this person, or speaking how something made you feel, uncomfortable. Because I think you're trying to, and I don't even know if this is necessarily a good thing for you, but I think you're trying to play out this situation. You have scenarios. You playing out different scenarios in your head. Thank you, Spirit. That's what you're doing. You're trying to see the situation from different views. Okay, if I say this, what they gonna say? How could this turn out if I say it like this? And okay, well, so okay, if I say it like this, but Spirit is saying number one, you're doing too much. Number two, you don't have control over this. You only have control over you. You're trying to control the outcome, and you can't. If it's going to crash and burn, it's going to crash and burn. If it's going to be understood, respected, and carried on, it will. You can't control how this is going to turn out. And I think that's what you're trying to do. The strategy, you're trying to make sure that you approach this situation in a way that it will turn out exactly how you want it to turn out. But Spirit is saying, because for some of y'all, it may need to crash and burn. For some of y'all, this conversation needs to happen. So this person, that place, that experience, whatever the case may be, place the energy where it belongs, will leave. But some of y'all are holding on to something that's been trying to slip away and get away because it needs to be gone anyway. And then for some of y'all, it's more about you learning how to protect your feelings, protect your mind, your communication, you learning how to safely set boundaries. Okay? So you got to place the energy where it belongs. Many of you are going through this for different reasons. Nevertheless, it's for you. Whether it's because you need to let them go, or because you need to set them boundaries, or they just need to be called out for what they did, what they said. Whatever the case may be, it's beneficial to you. Now, I feel like I'm speaking to a small group, small collective of you. If you're liking what I'm saying and you're resonating with it, go ahead and hit that like. Subscribe if you haven't. Share if you know who this is for. Okay? Comment if you would like. Okay? But I feel like I'm speaking to a small few of you. You know why that person said what they said. And maybe you're trying to ease your way into apologizing because maybe they said what they said because you said what you said. So I see a little self-accountability, even though you ain't got the bullhorn and just yelling it to the world, I was wrong. You ain't doing that. I ain't talking to somebody who's admitting to the world that they was wrong. I'm intuitively picking up on a few of you know that you said something that made them say something, and you might be trying to play victim a little bit because maybe what they said in return to what you said hurt a little more, right? So place that energy where it belongs. I think this Hanged Man could be representing you saying, okay, I mean, I said tit, but they didn't have to go tat 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 tat. Yeah, like maybe you feeling like their response was out of proportion to what you initially said to them. But you can't never control how a person's going to respond to something that you do or say. So again, you're trying to control the outcome of something when you really just need to do what your own spirit is telling you to do. If it's telling you to apologize, apologize. If it's telling you to say fuck it and get away from them, fuck it and get away from them. If it's telling you to approach this in a mature, seasoned manner and have a balanced conversation with this person, then do that. Follow what your intuition is telling you to do, okay? Show me more and show me clearly. The Page of Wands. This is a good card because I feel like it's saying, number one, you can approach this situation in such a way that it doesn't look like beef. It doesn't look like rah-rah. It doesn't look like chaos. It can really look like growth for both of you. And you're just initiating it. It can look like, hey, we need to have a conversation. I think both of us been feeling some type of way. And we both just need to go ahead and address this. And I'm just going to be the one to, to start it off. This is what happened. You might not even remember. Because some of y'all are getting ready to address something that happened a couple of months ago. Okay? Could have happened back in September, October of last year. Okay? And yeah, it could be something recent. But for the most part, I feel like I'm picking up on something that happened a while ago. It's probably calcified. You know what I'm saying? It happened so long ago that the person that you want to address might be like, what? Are you just not saying something? Why are you just not saying something? Okay? So, and that could be refreshing for you because maybe they didn't even realize that they said it or did it because they didn't mean no harm by it. And maybe they've been wondering why you've been acting distant or funny toward them, and this is going to give them clarity, like, oh, okay, I've been noticing you've been acting a certain way, but I just thought maybe you was going through your thing. So this is going to open up some very healthy communication paths for you, for them, for y'all together, and for y'all separately, right? I think this person may understand, you know what, from this point on, I do need to be a little more considerate of what I say and how I say things, right? And then the lesson for you may be, I don't need to let stuff sit and fester. When somebody does say something that feels some type of way, I need to address it right then. Okay, so I feel like it's going to be some I just heard a little precious moment. This is going to be a precious moment. Now, of course, is it going to go this way for everybody? No. Some of y'all is going to turn into some shit. The fire is going to be firing. Okay? But I feel like for the most of you, it's going to be a very innocent opportunity for growth for both parties. Okay? And then out of this could come some good news too. Out of this could come some good news. I don't know but the Page of Wands is fresh. It's fresh, enlightened energy. You may go to this person. This could look like you approaching this person finally, and you saying all of this stuff. And when you give them the mic to respond, they just say, you know what, I'm sorry. They don't even give you no pushback. They just go ahead and apologize because they understand how this could have made you feel some type of way. Now that you brought it to them, all they say is, I'm sorry. And I never want you to feel unsupported, unloved, unjustified, I never want you to feel that way. So they might just, because they want to savor what y'all got, so they just go ahead and apologize for it, right? So that listen, because that's ultimately I feel like that's ultimately what you want. And that's a beautiful outcome. That's a beautiful way to unlock a new chapter to y'all's friendship, to y'all's relationship, wherever this person is, whatever role they play in your life. It's because it's going to be a new chapter. It's definitely going to open up a new sense of respect for both parties. Okay? Especially for those who it turns out to be this way. Now, I always got to say the flip side, because duality is real. It could go that way and be beautiful, or it can backfire and go a whole total different way and crash and burn. If it goes the opposite way and it crashes and burns, let it. All that lets you know is that time was up for that person, that place, that thing, that experience, that relationship, that friendship, whatever. Time was up for it. And a lot of times when things crash and burn like that, it's time for it probably been up, but you just been holding on to it, trying to nurture what little bit of energy that it did have. You just been holding on to it, knowing that you really didn't like the person no more. You really didn't trust them. You really didn't, you feel some type of way about them, but you're holding on to it for whatever reason. Maybe because of proximity. Maybe y'all have to work together, or I don't know. And it could also be because of the history. Maybe you've been friends for a long time. You've been in this relationship a long time. You've been their coworker a long time. So sometimes we hold on to stuff out of convenience. But it needs to crash and burn. Okay? So place the energy where it belongs. You know where this, you will know where to place this energy for you. Okay? I do believe it's going to be a determining factor for a lot of you. It's going to be a determining factor. How they respond to this is going to determine how you move forward with them. Okay? Because again, what did I say? This is all about you. This is all about you. The world, Ashe. I just said that. I just said that this is going to unlock or activate or open up a whole new chapter or path. Either way, whether y'all remain friends, remain in a relationship, remain cordial and copacetic, it's going to open up a new way of how y'all operate with one another. Respectfully. How y'all approach one another from this day forward. I'm talking to those of you who they just don't apologize, and you're going to be so relieved that they just owned it and took responsibility of it and just apologized, and now y'all are able to move forward under grace and in a perfect way, because maybe you've been tight because, as I mentioned in the beginning, you didn't know how they were going to respond, so you was trying to, hanged man, see things from different points of views. How are they going to respond? What's the easiest way to approach this situation? Because, so I think for those of you, this is refreshing. Now, for the ones who are, it's going to be an opposite. It's going to be an opposite effect. It's still a new world, new chapter. You moving on and living life without them. Or you moving on and living life around them. You moving on because maybe subconsciously and intuitively, your higher self has already been preparing you to create a world that they don't even exist in. Okay? Now, let me tell you something. I do feel like there is going to be some chakra work that needs to be done for some of you prior to this, and for some of y'all after the communication. For those of you prior to this, if you have any other stuff going on that ain't got nothing to do with this, handle that, because I feel like you may start projecting. You may start projecting other things, other unfair situations that ain't even got nothing to do with this person, this place, this thing, this experience. But when you get ready to approach them, you're going to bring all this emotional energy, and they're not going to be bothered with that. They're going to look at you like, what the are you talking about? Okay, so be careful not to project. If you're going to approach this person about something they said, they did, only let it be about that. Only let it be about that. Because I do believe you may be talking to someone who they're going to give you an opportunity to say some stuff, even if they bark back. But I do believe that they will shut the conversation down if you start projecting. Okay. Cancers, for some reason, I'm picking up on your energy. Matter of fact, I'm sensing this battle may be between water and air. So Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, you could feel this energy against some water signs: Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. And I'm going to throw Virgo. I'm going to do an honorable mention to Virgo. I feel like Virgo may have something to do with this. I don't know what. Place the energy where it belongs. But Virgo may have something to do with this as well. The boundary part that I spoke of earlier, that's where I see most of the concentrated energy. When I said there's going to need to be some type of chakra alignment, some chakra balance, is concentrated on those of you there's some type of door that is trying to be opened. There's a door that wants to be opened. A door, and I feel like on the other side of this door, you're going to be aligned with something. I don't know. This is feeling like a test for some of you. Like, you addressing this situation and how you address it, what you do prior to addressing it, how you address it, and how you move forward after it is addressed. All of this is about you. This is something you're trying to, I feel like the universe is trying to elevate you, evolve you to another level, new level unlocked type of shit that I'm seeing here. But it's coming by way of this experience. It's coming by way of you speaking your truth or addressing the situation. It's something like that. Talk to me intuitively about this door. Who knows that a door is trying to be open? Because I feel like some of you know about the door. You may have even had dreams about a door being locked, the door being locked and you can't get in it, or you be in a room and you're behind the door, can't get out, or on the other side of the door and can't get in. Something about a door has probably been very, very prevalent lately. So place the energy where it belongs. Of course, not everybody's having dreams about doors, but if you're here and you've had some type of encounter with a door, something, once that door is unlocked and opened onto you, there's a new energy back there. There's a new energy back there. And this could be a proverbial door. This door could look like just a new opportunity, new energy, alignment. Okay? Alignment. The Tower. Yeah. Surrendering to this door. Because I think some people look at surrendering as weakness, or you go back and forth with it because it's a ego trip that you're on. But in our reality, all the tower is trying to do is to get you to trust that you know how to move forward. So even if that means, it's a couple of ways to get out of towers, right? You don't always have to jump and nosedive into the ground. Sometimes you got the opportunity to walk on back down to the bottom of the tower and walk out. Sometimes the tower don't have to burn to the ground before you get out. Some people get on out the door before the tower falls. Then some people are in a position where they gotta jump and trust God. And that could look like going on out on the limb. Because that's where the fruit is. Sometimes you got to go on out the window. Sometimes you got to jump on out the window and trust that God is your wings. Your ancestors is your wings. Your deities is your wings. Your angels is your wings. That just means trusting that something bigger and above you is going to help you float and land on solid ground. Okay? So many of you, this door is representing you surrendering to whatever this situation is, not trying to control it. Like, it is what it is. However it turns out, it turns out. What's gonna be, gonna be. Que sera, sera, right? So I think you have the choice on how you want to maneuver your tower. Either way is gonna lead you into your new world. Okay, it's up to you. It's up to you. Show me more and show me clearly if there is more. The 8 of Pentacles. I know I'm talking to somebody who I really feel like, and this is how I know that chakra energy is necessary, chakra work, the balancing. I'm talking to somebody who's already been doing that. You've already been in your own way. Okay, in your own way, whether it's through meditation, whether it's through prayer, or whether it's through grounding. It's so many ways to tap into your own energy centers, okay, and unlock them, unblock them, okay. I believe that many of you do that. Some of you all do yoga. Some of y'all do them sound baths, okay. I feel like I'm talking to somebody who's already seasoned in how to, I feel like you have a sense of dedication to self-mastery. And this one little thing, it's almost like your higher self is like, go on over there and address that. Like it's time for you to graduate, but you got that one thing, that one little test, that one thing that you need to go address so we can elevate you. And I saw the elevation, but this 8 of Pentacles is giving me it's like a nudge, like somebody's dragging their feet on handling this. But soon as you handle this, soon as you approach the situation and let it be what it's gonna be, next level unlocked, door opened. Okay. No more. Ashe. Ashe. And the Chariot is on the bottom. I told you, I felt Cancer energy. I felt Cancer's energy was here. Honorable mention to Capricorn as well. Whoever is resonating with this, it's time. I feel like a rededication is happening. And because of this, a rededication to thyself. And because of this rededication, one of the things that you're having to do is learn how to use your throat chakra, honoring your throat chakra, whether it's you learning how to talk to people or you teaching people how to talk to you. Either way, there's a rededication of staying true to you. And that don't always look like putting another motherfucker in their place. Most of the time, it looks like you putting you in your place. Even if that means setting boundaries. You getting on your own ass for not making people respect your boundaries. Okay? And then sometimes it looks like you getting on your own self because maybe you don't necessarily understand that how you talk to people ain't always hunky-dory either. And people do have the right to respond to how you said something to them. So place energy where it belongs. You know where you sit at this table. Okay? So we're not playing victim. We are taking accountability, but we're also holding people accountable. That's what this is all about. And once this stuff is faced, once it's addressed, again, you're not trying to control the outcome. There's some type of door that's going to open. There's an elevation that's going to automatically happen, and a mastery, another level of your self-mastery will be unlocked. Okay? All right, good people. Thank you so much for being here. If you resonated with this message, go ahead and like, subscribe, share, comment if you would like. But this is where I conclude. Peace.